people, how are you all? Welcome back. Today I'm doing something a little bit different in that I am discussing the Our Flag Means Death 2 trailer. However, I am doing it in collaboration with a friend of mine, Fish. And I've never actually done a collaborative video with any kind before, so this is probably going to be a bit of a chaotic discussion because structure and organisation, but hopefully you really enjoy it. It was super fun to make, and yeah, let's get into it. I have made notes. I looked through your notes this morning and I went back through them and I kind of split them up into two chunks of things that I thought about and predicted in my last video that we've kind of had confirmed now through the trailer.
Yeah.
And just other things that have sort of been confirmed through the trailer that we weren't sure about. And then also new things that I did not see coming.
Such new things.
Such cool new things that
oh my god.
And I've definitely missed something. So if we get to the end of this and discover there's a bunch of stuff that we've missed,
there's so many things. I'm gonna forget names and characters and themes and vibes.
We don't even know all the names. There's so many new characters, so there's I have no idea who any of these people are.
So many beautiful, wonderful new people who we're gonna just love, and I don't even know them yet.
I know. Although to be fair, I thought we could kind of start out by ignoring all of that and just be excited for 5 minutes about how cool it looks.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole time in the last few weeks has just been me wanting to go to the lobotomy store. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you saw, but he did get the bride figurine and he painted it with his talented hands.
It's so cute.
I can't deal with it. Can't deal with it because it's just
Also, I feel the need to mention Jim's hair.
Oh my god!
I love that hair.
The other thing is that throughout the shots in the trailer, it's different. We're gonna have some time between hairstyles because their hair seems to be either I don't know what the timeline is, but at some point it's a complete undercut, shaved, and then we get a little bit more fuzz back, and then it's still Jim. It's just being the best, and
I know.
my child, my love.
There's also, I don't know where it came from, but an artist I followed put up a screenshot that they'd found of there's a moment, not the entire show, but there is a moment where Stede has a beard. I don't know where it's from.
Yes,
so I saw that.
I have a theory about this. I have a theory.
Go for it.
I think that this is some kind of maladaptive daydream or dream sequence, Stede.
Ooh.
I think this is a hyper reality. That's not the right word. There's a heightened sense of maybe it's just because I'm looking at the whole facial hair setup and being oh my god, it's so perfect and beautiful. It can't be a real thing. It has to be a dream. It has to be a dream.
Yeah.
That this is actually happening. I need to figure out because that's definitely not from the trailers or the teasers. That's definitely from one of the exclusive interview things.
Yeah, I can't remember where that came from.
I cannot remember.
But
if we find out, if we find out specifically, we'll be it was this in editing or something.
Yeah. And to be fair, that whole I don't quite believe this. It doesn't seem real thing. This is very nicely into things that we've had confirmed through the trailer that I did not think were going to happen. Stede has the red silk. Because I initially did not think that was ever going to happen. I was maybe there'll be a thing where he realizes Ed's lost it and replaces it or whatever. But I didn't think he was gonna get it, and he does have it. And the symbolism.
So he has it when? What specific thing does he have it on? Because that's something I missed.
Well, I think people talk about it's tied around his neck in a lot of the shots.
Oh my god!
His little red neckerchief. I think people are saying is the red silk. I don't know if it actually is because I've not looked at the images close enough to work it out.
Let's have a look.
It's been through this.
Oh my god!
Sea in the dirt, but that's what. I didn't realize you missed that because I thought pretty much everyone was on that. Where I have an image somewhere. I
am so aged. I'm in this. I think I've missed like a lot of stuff, but all we know is that even regardless of that, he becomes Red Silk. He becomes through the jacket.
Yeah, his colour palette is so... I love that jacket. I want a better picture of that jacket so I can draw it, because I would have drawn it for this video if I'd had a decent shot of it, but it was so hard to get a good photo of it that I'm just going to have to have patience and wait a little bit.
Yeah, it's only been in like the trailer and stuff. We have good pictures of other outfits, but...
Yeah, the problem is he's spinning, so there's, like, not a decent frame where you can actually see it, where it's not, like, super blurry.
And, babe, we love it when you spin. We love it when you spin. But, like, stay still for 5 minutes so
just, like, 30 seconds would be
30 seconds. You can stim later. It's totally fine for you to stim.
Yes. Oh, my God.
We all do it, babe. Babe, we are just like you, but we need to just stand still in your beautiful coat that is so metaphorical, so symbolic.
It's so gorgeous.
Love that coat for you, babe. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it's so
Thank
cool.
you so much.
We also, I mean, this is kind of completely jumping ship the order I was going to talk about things in. But, so one of the things that I noticed in the trailer that, I think actually you were the first person who kind of really highlighted this for me, but, like, Ed is very much getting his life together, and I was convinced that would only happen if he found out, like, Stede had died, for instance.
Yeah.
But, like, he seems to have fully gotten his life together, and I don't know what's motivated it, because he's still clearly furious at Stede, but, like, symbolically speaking, Stede's little black cravat, he doesn't have that anymore. He got rid of that. Which he still has it at the end of season 1, so I really want to know at what point does he just go, screw it, I'm gonna get on with my life and do things, because like the self-growth there is really fun. I think it's after he crashes the wedding.
There seems to be a lot of people that he talks to, and a lot of people who he's like, I am changing, look at me change, like lots of characters. So that kind of suggests like maybe it happens over a long time, as you said.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, he may have gotten rid of everything, but we don't know if he got rid of the auxiliary closet.
We don't. And to be fair, I would very much love for there to still be stuff in there.
Something.
But like he was still hanging on to that cravat at the end of the first season, kind of like as like a reminder or something, and it appears to be gone now from a lot of the scenes, particularly a lot of the scenes when he got rid of the raccoon makeup.
Yeah. Very true.
So
very, very true.
Like that's kind of funky and interesting to me, because I was fully expecting us to have like Psycho Ed for a significant chunk of this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... The thing is, I think there is going to be a significant amount of time of him, you know, being in this way. Like, it feels like at least a couple episodes. Like, the timeline is still blurry to me, because there's a lot of content of all of these versions of Ed. Like, there's so much of him in the makeup being Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know how long it takes them to get to this wedding. We don't know how long it takes them... Yeah, you go.
There's no, I was gonna say, because there's several shots of that, and then you're right, there's the wedding shots, and then there's the version of him where he's kind of ditched the makeup and he's got his hair tied up, which looks so good. As a side note. So there's those shots. There's also the bit like at the end when like the Swede very clearly points out, he's like, Blackbeard, are you poor now? Because he's like ditched the whole leather get-up as well, which is kind of like third version of Ed.
Yeah. We're getting character development, which is not unusual in a TV show written by writers.
Yeah, no. Particularly not this TV show. Like, this TV show is very good at its character development, but...
The thing is, Ed's journey through season 1 is very, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens, and a lot of development there, and, like, you know, I come from a place of, like, being sober and watching somebody, like, struggle with just a lot of trauma. It's just... We can't deny the one thing that Ed's got. It's trauma. It's trauma.
I mean, I think that's probably true of every character in this show. I'm not. It
very much like that's the whole point of being like, you know, found family. You know, you have to kind of be going through a lot of stuff to end up being a pirate. So like, yeah, we've got Ed and the journey of like, okay, I don't really want to do this anymore. Oh, I've met this guy. Oh, he's cute actually. I'm gonna try and be a bit more like him. And then we've got, oh no, he abandoned me. Now I have to go back to doing what I know. And however long he takes doing what he knows is a time. And then he's going to try and be a secret third thing, which is hopefully healthy and happy.
Yeah, because he
And
bases,
that's
like...
cool.
In season 1, he ends up basing, like, a lot of this new identity he's found on... They become very codependent. They are completely codependent disasters. And whilst Stede is a little bit more like... He already decided what he wanted before he met Ed. Ed is only just realising that there are other options than this version of himself that he's being. But I am really interested to know what exactly triggers some of this transformation, because I was convinced that the thing that was most likely to trigger it was him finding out that Stede had theoretically died because Stede faked his death. And I figured, well, he's got to feel some way about that, even if it's just, like, more anger. But that doesn't appear to be what's happening, because he still seems exceedingly mad at Stede and just kind of done with him, which I'm not sure that's what that would do.
Yeah, I think it seems to be like that's the way they're going in the trailer. Like, the way that they've edited it, the storyline of the trailer is giving us that. Whether that's a misdirect or it's actually no, this is how he goes through it, and he's trying to get over Stede, and then Stede comes back and he's like, oh, thing. Like,
I mean, speaking of
that
things
might be how it is.
Speaking of things that are not actually in the trailer, but, like, really interesting to me. We need to be brief here because I've already done, like, half an hour on this. But Lucius.
Yeah.
Not only, like, so there's a couple of screenshots that you found that look like they have Lucius in them. I mean, but we can't be sure. But the really interesting thing about the trailer is Lucius obviously isn't in it because that would ruin the game. But he's not even mentioned. And I feel like a very trailery thing to do would be to have, like, a little clip of, like, a confrontation, like, that mentions the fact that, oh yeah, you murdered somebody last season. That's the sort of thing you bring up. And it just doesn't come up anywhere. And I'm kind of taking this as...
Yeah. What I think is the case is that it's going to be a major thing. Or it's going to be completely brushed aside as a joke. Or somewhere in between. Those are the options. I've given you all the options and have no firm opinion about it. I will say the person who has done a lot of work trying to find some Lucius in the second trailer is Lucius Coded Sweet Boy on Tumblr 5 days ago. Got some gifs. And I just want to commend them. Like, from what I can tell, if this is Lucius, got a beard, doing some cool stuff. Already in the point in the story where they're wearing the long robes, the blue long robes. So probably has, like, if we can kind of connect all of this together, whatever the timeline is where they are in China wearing the blue long robes, and also around different points around whenever the heck this explosion is happening, where there's I'm gonna send you this GIF. I feel like I've already sent it to you, but like I just want you to see what I'm looking at. Like there's some trees, there's some little palm trees thing, fauna. I don't know anything about plants. I don't know what they're called. But they are around some plants doing some hijinks, pulling some dude's legs.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that one. And it's so his trousers.
Yes. And whenever Buttons does this dramatic like zip cord slide across ships, which is sick.
Yes, I have no idea what that is, but it's so cool.
My God. I love him so much. He is my uncle and my husband. He is my unksband.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm like 99.9% sure Lucius is still alive for like a variety of reasons, because it's just so much more interesting. But interesting character development things. The other character that looks like they've got a lot going on this season, Izzy.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, we haven't even talked about Izzy yet. What? Oh my God!
Because there's mentions in in the Vanity Fair article, there are mentions about this season exploring his love life. In the trailer, there is scenes of him seeming to team up with Stede, which you could think is just like the last thing.
Rocky montages.
Yeah.
Sword fighting.
And so I feel like there's a lot going on for him right now, and I feel like it might. I said previously that I didn't really think Izzy was likely to get not that he wasn't likely to get one, but like I didn't particularly care if he got like a redemption arc, because I was just more interested in like what made him this way in the first place.
Yeah.
But it does kind of look like it might be kind of laying the groundwork for like the beginnings of some kind of like redemption arc, because we're getting both kind of him confronting his feelings. The article talks about unrequited love. I'm like, oh, you finally worked that one out, did you?
I'm normal. When I read that, I told you when I read that article, I read what Con was talking about. I had such a normal day. I was so normal. You don't even know.
Oh.
You don't even know how normal I was. It filled me with such a love for Izzy that I had not actually experienced. I now understand.
Yeah.
You Izzy Hands girlies out there, I get it now. I understand why you're also so normal about this. About this man.
I'm pretty sure, like, I've theorized, like, previously whether or not they're gonna, like, I don't know, explain something of Izzy's past, like, whether there was, like, love past, but I'm pretty sure this is talking about Ed. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this article is talking about his feelings for Ed that he's finally gonna have to confront, which is really interesting that we're getting both that and him appearing to, albeit reluctantly, team up with Stede in the same season, because that kind of implies he's going through some stuff to go from. Like,
it does, and I was rewatching episodes 9 and 10 yesterday.
Ooh.
And the kind of interesting closing of that storyline is that Izzy gets what he wants. He gets Blackbeard back through kind of manipulating him, being like, you know, it wouldn't have been worse if the British had killed you. I actually wish that had been the case, because the person that you are currently, I don't like it. Which is kind of when Ed is sort of testing that part of a new Ed, where he, like, you know, they're thinking about doing a talent show with the crew, and like he's writing music and stuff.
He's trying to hold on to that bit of him he had when he was with Stede, despite the fact that Stede is now gone and he has no idea what to do about it.
Yeah, and so he's like at the perfect time to be blackbearded, and Izzy takes full advantage of that and then gets what he wants and he gets his toe eaten.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the toe.
Because of it. And so now it's perfect time for all of this new stuff to happen for Izzy. It's like, okay, now I've gotten what I wanted, but oh no, what I wanted was bad, actually, and it was bad, and things happened that are bad.
And he's gonna have to kind of confront that he's created this.
Yes, exactly. And what the first trailer seems to betray is that the ship's gonna frickin' capsize because of whatever the heck happens. Because I don't know if we should get onto this bit yet about who we think is fallen into the water. But
there's that shot of, like, I'm pretty sure it's Ed. Like, could be wrong.
The money on for me is that it's Ed, because there's a lot of like hair.
There's a lot of hair
flies out,
and there's something about like the silhouette of Ed's shoulders is like, because of the way the jacket is constructed, is quite wide.
And we get a very, like, in the second trailer we get the second shot of like a very
ominous,
not a very ominous external shot. That's not the right word for it. I did a film degree, by the way. I don't know what the shot names are. Big wide shot, a big boy shot of a guy drifted through the ocean in downward form.
Yes. Although, to be fair, there is also the shot of someone kind of coming out of the waves, like they stand up and they're walking out of the waves.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that, and whilst technically it does look like it's probably Ed, because I think the cut of the jacket suggests it's Ed. The trousers look like Lucius's trousers.
Yeah, the thing is, it's such an intimidating
pixelated
shot of whoever this person is. They are framed in such a ooh, yeah. So now I'm actually getting a new thought. What if this confrontational, these shots where they're fighting the British on the beach, what if that actually happens earlier than we think? Because I initially was like, oh, this big reunion is going to happen at the end, and they're going to be sword fighting and then running towards each other. But that actually might be earlier, and maybe as a result of this fight and them potentially reuniting on this beach. We don't actually know when they reunite.
I was gonna say, that might make a lot of sense, because in the few shots we have where Ed and Stede in the same room, Ed does not seem very inclined to kill Stede. He's clearly still mad at him, but he doesn't seem like he's about to murder him, despite the fact that there are several points in the trailer in which, in both the trailer and the teaser, where various people mention, Blackbeard's gonna kill you, right? So it comes up a lot that he's supposedly that Ed is so mad he's going to kill him. And admittedly, this might be coming from Stede's crew, who don't actually know what's going on Ed's ship and what state of
you
mind
don't know him like that.
But
Daddy, I love him.
Yes. But something's clearly got to happen to make, like I said, to make Ed kind of reach this point where he, A, gets his life together, but B, is kind of like, I don't need Stede, but also I'm not going to I don't care enough to kill him anymore, which is like a real shift, which if something like this fight introduces them at the beginning, it would give them a very, solid reason, fighting for your life, to not immediately murder each other. And I suspect it's only going to take a short amount of time of being forced to not kill Stede for whatever reason, for Ed to kind of go, I'm not actually ready to outright murder this guy. I don't know what the feelings are, but they're complicated and I don't want to kill him.
Yeah. And also, stabbing as a metaphor for love, obviously, big thing. And I think the way that this might manifest is if Ed is already, let's say, for instance, our guy falls into the ocean because of a bad ship incident of some kind where the water and he go down into the ocean. Come out of the ocean, look intimidating, while Stede fighting the British on the beach goes, wait, who's that? It's Ed. He runs forward fighting the British, but he's still... Is he wet? I need to double check in these shots of him fighting if he is soaking. If he is a sopping wet boy. We're going to find out.
Speaking of cool new plot things, though, that, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with them, but I'm very excited about it. Lesbian Pirates.
Woo, baby,
I called
let's go! Lesbian! You did call that. Let's say, if we can bring some continuity from your first video to this one, you called that one, and we are blessedly getting Lesbian Pirates. Let's go.
Yes, I am.
Heck yeah.
Very excited about that. Because there's a shot I think it's in the teaser trailer, where Oluwande has been tied up somewhere. I'm assuming the entire crew's been taken hostage or whatever. But, my bets are probably on this is the new pirates doing this. Because, obviously, Jim is on Ed's crew. And everybody on Ed's crew and Stede's crew knows that if you want to live, you do not harm Oluwande. Because Jim will just straight up murder you. So I have to assume that whoever's taken them... It could possibly be the British, because I think there is also a shot that looks like it could be Stede and Ed have been locked up somewhere. Although it's kind of it's kind of ambiguous. I can't really tell. So it could be the British, but I think the other solid bet is it's these new pirates who kind of do not know this, that number one rule of piracy: do not anger Jim.
I think what is happening is this weird bit where Wee John is in drag and everybody's in the stocks and stuff. That seems to be a one-off jokey episode structure, a bit like the one where they get boarded and they have to do this elaborate theatrical production. Yes, I think it's kind of in that vein.
Real serious stuff at the end of that episode.
It does. It very much does. But I think it's a one-off different set of pirates and not necessarily
That is a good point. I kind of forgot that, like, non-named characters can exist. You can just have, like, kind of random
no, but I think
it's
this dude who I talked about with you, who is seemingly a similar looking guy to whoever takes Ed onto land, who is in, like, weird robes and has a white beard and white hair. And he seems to be the same guy. He seems to be some kind of violinist. He's holding a bow and he's conducting everybody to scream, sing. And I'm trying to see if there's anybody who is in Ed's crew on this thing, because we get a couple shots of it in the new trailer.
Yeah,
we've got Roach. We do have, I don't know if this has been edited to be looking like it's in the same place, but these shots are connected with Jim and this other new character who is wearing a very cool hat with lots of purple flowers on it. Who I know I'm going to fall in love with.
There does seem to be some crossover between the two crews at various points, because, like, in the scene with Ed and Spanish Jackie, the other person who's in that room is the Swede, who is dressed as if he's a member of Ed's crew, despite the fact that he was on Team Stede at the end of the first season. So clearly there's going to be some kind of crossover.
Also with the cropped jacket? With the cropped jacket?
Teams.
Oh my god. We had another theory that potentially a lot of people are having this theory. We're not original, but, like, we're thinking, like, okay, he's serving them in Jackie's bar, new 19th husband for Jackie this week.
I mean, I would actually love that. That
would be great.
That would be excellent.
It would be awesome. And also, just
the Swede is dumb enough to do that.
Yeah, honestly. But also, he looks great. He looks like he's having a great time.
I know.
I would have a great time being married to Jackie. I'm jealous.
There's also, I don't know if it's just because of the way it's cut that he's in the background of a lot of these shots, but one of the things that I was kind of sort of called in my previous video is that it seems like we're going to get more FRENCHIE this season.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about.
It's going to be good, because there's the thing, not many people are from the OG whole crew come to Ed's crew. Ed's new crew, basically.
Well, Ed's new crew is just Ed, Izzy, Jim, FRENCHIE, and Fang, isn't it, at this point? Because the actor who plays Ivan isn't coming back.
Which is very sad.
And I'm pretty sure that Jim and FRENCHIE are the only ones that Ed stole. So, like, it's quite a small group of them now. Yeah. And they're all... There's a lot of extreme emotions running very high on that ship, considering, you know, Jim's been effectively kidnapped. Izzy and Ed have their whole incredibly toxic nightmare thing going on. And then there's just FRENCHIE, who's like, well, guess I've got to run the place now. He was
there because he could sew. The reason why he brought him, because he was like, I want you to sew this new metaphor flag that is the flag that everybody knows.
Which I still stand by. I think that's a little bit weird, because, like, if you were going to try pick somebody who could sew, like, I would say the first one you probably want to go for is either Wee John, because he can sew and also he's a tank, or, like, Roach, because Roach can sew and he can also cook, and he's also theoretically a surgeon. Like, Roach's, like, whole thing is that he's the most useful member of the crew.
In the most way that you can be a surgeon, whilst also being like, knives, meets meat.
Yeah, like, he's theoretically the most, like, you'd think he'd be the more useful one to go for instead of FRENCHIE. I don't know if it's just because Ed doesn't know the crew very well, but, like, maybe. I would like to know why he chose FRENCHIE. I would like the background on that, please. I'm wondering if
I'm so excited about it, because that means we get more FRENCHIE. We love FRENCHIE.
I mean, I wonder if it's maybe just because they were both on, like, the fancy ship together, and they, like, bonded over that. Because the fancy ship was just, it was Oluwande and FRENCHIE who went with them, and you can't take Oluwande because Oluwande is incredibly loyal to Stede, so that just wouldn't work. So I don't know, but more FRENCHIE, yes please.
We have reasons that we're gonna find out. I actually genuinely don't know. Now that you bring this up, I have nothing. You're the prediction dude. I'm just here.
Well, the other thing that I don't have many predictions on, but I think that is very cool, is we have kind of revealed our new villain. I suspected there was a new villain coming just because of, like, basic story writing concepts.
And we had some thoughts about this regarding potentially Izzy stuff as well.
Yes, we did, which I think is kind of cool. Because, I mean, this was...
And again, we're not the only people who have thought this. But like...
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think it was you who mentioned this to me first, though. But about... It's about Izzy's ring, isn't it?
Yeah. Everybody's thinking a lot about that dang ring. You're always on that
it's
dang
very funky
ring.
and symbolic, and I've seen people mention, although I've not actually researched this myself for sure, but like it's like a common like widower's thing to do, is to like wear the little ring on the tie. And so there is... Also, Izzy is just like... is a really kind of terrible person, and like... So obviously something happened that made him this way. And so kind of the theory that like Izzy had somebody he loved that he lost a very long time ago is like been around for a while, but we got a new guy now.
Yeah. And the interesting about this new guy is that there seems to be a shot in our new trailer of Izzy sitting down to talk to this dude one-on-one. And the other thing about this new villain dude, he has a lot of like interest in pirates. He is hyperfixated, if you will.
Yeah.
And he loves the pirate stories. So maybe this was what the general vibe I was getting, is that he and Izzy used to be in the same situation, and maybe the ring was with him and it was a thing.
And to be fair, it could particularly kind of add to Izzy's hatred of Stede in particular. If whatever this like relationship between them was very similar to how Ed and Stede's relationship appears on the surface. If this guy, you know, Izzy's a pirate and this guy is not, and they thought it was all going to work out, and then it just kind of like, I feel like that would be like a massive thing that would explain why Izzy can't stand Stede so much, because he's like, I've been here and this never ends
That would suck. That would be so painful.
I love just adding extra pain to this fandom.
The other thing about it is that Con has said publicly that actually belonged to his late mother's. It's his late mother's ring. And so that's why he wears it. But the actual reason for in story, he was like, well observed or something.
Yeah, because there's lots of...
Stay tuned.
There's lots of different bits of the various costumes and stuff, and the build-up of the characters that the actors had a lot of say in. I think they've mentioned before, like, lots of Stede's members of the crew got to choose, like, what tattoos and scars and stuff they wanted to have. Because the characters were built around, like, the way the audition tapes worked is the characters were built around the actors they picked to an extent. Not for all of them, but to a lot of the side members of the crew. I think Samba's talked about this before. So, like, there are lots of things that are included in the costumes that have, like, our world reasons for them, but that doesn't mean that they can't have other in-world reasons for them. And I think Izzy's ring is just it's got so much potential. I don't mind if they don't do that with it, but I just think it could be such a good fun
it would
story,
hurt.
right?
It would hurt
really
me.
Hurt.
It would hurt my bones and my body and my
all
soul.
of us.
It would hurt really bad, and I would be like, thank you. I will say also something we talked about earlier with Steed and Izzy training together, or Izzy training Stede. There's a shot of them fighting on the beach, sword fighting, practicing, and like lots of stuff, which suggests that they spend a lot of time together. Yeah,
there's very much I mean, there's obviously an element of Stede appears to be learning more and more on how to actually be a pirate this season, which makes a lot of sense. He has no ship, he barely has a crew, like he's got to actually gain some skills now. Yeah, it's specifically the scene where it's like, I have no idea how you've lived this long, kind of implies
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, is he sort of taking on like a teachering role of some kind? Like, I don't think he's in all of those scenes where Stede is learning things, but he certainly seems to be in a few of them. And so this idea that I'm presuming something
he's starting to see what Ed sees in him.
Yeah, something has clearly motivated Izzy to realise that he's got to help this idiot out. I don't know if it's because Ed's in danger or if it's just out of pure hatred for this new villain guy, but something has kind of like kicked in with Izzy to kind of go, okay, I do not like this man, but like I need him to survive for XYZ reasons, which is kind of really, really cool and interesting.
Yeah, and not to be a conspiracy theorist and polyamory enthusiast, but I look at this and I look at them sword fighting, and then I look at the season 1 Ed and Stede sword fighting, and I go, okay, sword fighting and stabbing, it's a metaphor for love. And I go, and I twiddle my little mustache and my little goatee, and I go,
I think you have a very solid point. I think a lot of the fandom is with you on this one. It's this specific set of characters, it's not personally my thing, just because of how toxic the relationship.
I would also be
Izzy...
so happy if it was like Fang and Lucius and
Fang and Lucius and Black Pete I adore that. That is like one of my favorite ships in this entire fandom. Izzy and Ed is one that I'm very much. I mean, I know here we're talking about like Izzy and Stede, which to be fair, actually, I could see it working with Ed and Stede together and Izzy and Stede together, but Izzy and Ed specifically kind of rubs me the wrong way, just because of how toxic and violent it's so codependent that relationship has been for so long. I kind of feel like the only way they're likely to move on with their lives is like, I think Izzy needs to kind of realize that, similar to how Ed needs to realize he's a person outside of Stede, but to a much greater degree, Izzy kind of needs to find himself away from Ed, because he's defined his whole personality around who Blackbeard is, and he's hurt a lot of people in the process, and I kind of feel like he needs to step away from it. That said, if this season does some, very good character development and manages to change my mind, I'm open to having my mind changed. But like,
I'm also open to that too. Yeah. At this point, I just want Izzy Hands to be cherished. I just want to, and maybe that's him cherishing himself. That would be great.
I'm certainly
as well.
coming much more in favour of Izzy getting some kind of redemption, although I'm very much kind of like, I think my ideal at this current point would be like the kind of redemption where like he's able to go a separate way from these guys and they forgive him, and he's able to kind of go off and like build a new life with a new set of people somewhere, because he's kind of healed from all of this mess. Like that's kind of I think what would be my favourite option.
He starts his own crew.
Yeah, because he could be captain. He should be captain, really, because he's much more sensible than anybody else is.
He did have a little bit of experience captaining at the end of the season.
He was kind of terrible at it, wasn't he?
He was kind of terrible at it. But the thing is, maybe with some development and some light recovery and a little bit of
he could be good at it. He could be very good at it. The power kind of went to his head a bit, but I feel like he could theoretically be very good at it, and maybe that's kind of what he's supposed to be doing, because he does deserve to have some of the respect that he's not really been given historically by Ed.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling very open about Izzy Hands. I want to see what they do with him, and like I'll judge from there once I've seen the show, because I don't know how I feel about him at the minute. Like I'm very open to them doing all sorts of funky things with his character development, because there's so many good options.
Since watching all these trailers, I've already said it, but like, wow, I just want to take him to the toy store and I want to let him pick out anything he wants.
Yes.
And I want to take him to the zoo.
I think he could really use just like a little bit of kindness.
I would buy him a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yeah.
I would.
I don't think anybody, I don't think Stede or even Ed really kind of owe him much kindness given what he's done to them, but I think it would do him a world of good to have some kindness shown to him, because he clearly doesn't get appreciated very often. I think that would be really good for him.
Yeah, and everybody just needs to apologize for a lot of stuff.
Yes, please. Can everybody just say they're sorry? Except maybe Black Pete.
Everybody say they're sorry.
Black Pete try kill Ed.
I would like that. That would be cool. Everybody deserves to. Yeah, exactly. Because we got a lot of Black Pete being just normal. He's got a crossbow and he's like, oh, I don't know how to use this thing. So it suggests that he's fine. And if he's fine, weird. That suggests that Lucius is fine.
But the thing is, I think actually that must be taken from before he finds out Lucius is fine. Because I feel like if Lucius is, fine, he will obviously hear from... Because nobody knows what Ed's done to Lucius except for Ed and Izzy and Lucius. And so I feel like...
I do disagree, because I think... Yet. I'm going to disagree with you there, because I think there's enough of this this shot of him with the crossbow where there are other people next to him. And we do know also that Lucius, if that shot that I showed you in the gift set is to be believed, then Lucius also gets to wear these lovely long robes. Then that's the same place.
I particularly
bada bing, bada boom.
The thing that gets me about Black Pete is he has like two major things that make up his personality. One, he loves Lucius, which is adorable. Two, he idolizes Blackbeard. So I feel like finding out that Blackbeard tried to kill Lucius it's gonna do something to him. I mean, whether it's kind of not showing here just because at the time, like, he's got Lucius back, Blackbeard is very far away, it's not something he's worrying about, like, that could be a thing. But, like, I feel like it should do something to his character to be like,
it'll come up.
Yeah, I want them to recognize that this poor man has kind of had his entire world chucked upside down.
We want you to know that you are our sweet boy, and that you need to understand this.
Say you're sorry for trying to drown him.
Yes, say you're sorry for trying to drown his boyfriend, and then we move on with the plot.
Yeah,
but who knows if they're just gonna brush past it? There might be maybe it's just a thing as a pirate. You're like, oh, sometimes your boyfriend just gets pushed over the ship. You have to
because I'll admit, like, Black Pete is not a very major they're introducing a lot of new characters. We've already kind of established which characters we think the season's going to focus on. There's not a lot of space left for Black Pete to have his own character arc as well. I think
but it would be cool. It would be nice if he was able to be like, I'm angry about this.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Even if it was just like a line or two that's like, I am not happy about this, I would really appreciate that, because I really like when I first watched the show, I was not expecting Lucius and Black Pete's relationship to happen at all, because I was kind of into the mindset of, oh, well, this show has a gay couple already, we're not going to get a second one, because that would be like, whoa. And so when I watched it, I didn't see it coming, and it was just so cute, and I was like, oh no, I really ship this, and also Fang, because I think they both need big bear hugs from Fang.
Yeah.
But like,
everybody could use a Fang in their life.
I actually adore Fang. He's one of my favorite characters.
I love him so much. He could absolutely put me in the guillotine, and I would thank him. That's fine. But I would love a hug. But if he doesn't want that and he wants to guillotine, I would understand, because I would know he would have his reasons, because he's great.
It's the vibes of I'd love to be stabbed by Jim. Like,
love to be stabbed by Jim. Would love. That goes without saying. Everybody is lining up to get stabbed by Jim. Lining up around the block to get a little stab.
Oh, right. Well, we've gone through all of my notes now, I think, pretty much. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's whether there's anything I've forgotten, which there probably is, because
there's
I'm
loads
not
of things we've forgotten.
Organized, but
we are neurodiverging all over the place.
Yeah.
But we've entertained and we've done what we came here to do.
Yes.
And I just wish everybody luck. I wish everybody luck, because we're getting 3 episodes at once, and then the rest weekly.
To be fair, that's gonna massively help me, because whilst it will extend my obsession, I am in university at the minute, and I have like actual classes I have to go to, so I can't just sit and binge it all and become increasingly unhinged. I'm hoping that by them spreading it out, I might stand a chance of actually getting some work done.
I have no idea. I can't predict my mental state. I just know that I am going to be, as I've just reassured everybody, that I'm going to be just normal and nothing and I'm going to write these characters into my will, and it will be normal. It will be so normal.
Yeah, it's completely normal. This is just my whole personality now.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Would it be cool if I plugged my very bad Tumblr that's just off Like Mean Death?
Go for it. Absolutely go for it.
Yeah. I'm Fish, and you can find me at the historically old fandom accurate titled blog Oh, I can't even say it out loud. I need to censor it. Because it's yeah, our flag means dare.
I'll stick it up on the screen.
Yay. That's what it looks like. I'm bad at using Tumblr. But if you want to send us things, or if you think we got things wrong and you want to yell at us about it, I don't know, DM me there. That'd be funny.
Yeah. As always, like, please put things and thoughts in the comments. My favourite thing about doing the Good Omens videos I did was, like, so many people had so many cool things they wanted to say and, like, debates to be had about the show. And
Nice.
like, I adore the show. I am always willing to hear more people
Tell us why we're
rant about
wrong.
it. Yeah, tell us why we're wrong.
Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us that we're being...
I got next to nothing right on my Good Omens predictions, so this is probably gonna, like, completely go in a different direction now that I've
Absolutely.
said all this.
But we can guarantee one thing, is that lesbians.
Lesbian Pirates.
If we got nothing, we know lesbians got us.
Yes.
Lesbians got us. Okay, bye everybody.
Yeah, bye.